order to perform at the highest levels in Rocket League, it is necessary to learn the speed flip. So let's get into the first step, the flip cancel. To complete a flip cancel, start with a front flip. The cancellation comes from an opposing input. What this looks like is pulling back on your joystick or pressing S on your keyboard. Put together, your inputs look like this. Check the reference on the screen to ensure you're doing it correctly, but if you're doing it right, then we're ready to move on to the next step, which is being able to learn a new way to diagonally flip. I'm going to go into a little detail here because it's actually a very important concept for many mechanics. So, as you all know, you can diagonally flip forward and to the right, for example, using only your analog stick or by pressing W and D on your keyboard. But here's the trick. If you hold your directional air roll right bind, then you only need to push forward on your analog stick or press W on the keyboard in order to achieve the exact same flip. And we will need to know this for the next step because the final step is just putting the previous two steps together. Now, if you don't use or don't want to use directional air roll, I will give you a method for speed flipping without it, but it really is that easy. You hold your directional air roll bind, then front flip cancel, just forwards and back. So why is this so hard? Surely everyone would do this if it's only 3 simple steps, right? Well, yes and no. Even though you do technically have everything that you need to speed flip, there is one crucial thing that we should talk about, which is the flip timing. As you can see on the screen, the timing of my first flip matters, even though my flip is identical. This is because there's still more that we can get out of the speed flip just by min-maxing the timing. This training pack is Musty's speed flip kickoff test, and depending on our first flip, second flip, and flip cancel, this will determine whether we hit the ball or not. For PC players, be sure to check the description. I'll leave the code to Musty's training pack as well as a link to the Blockus mod plugin that provides this helpful UI that you see on the screen, but unfortunately for console players, you're out of luck. You'll just have to reference what you see in this tutorial and do your best. If you hit the ball, you've done it right. One last thing, make sure you let your car settle before making your attempts, otherwise even a perfect speed flip will fail. So how can we get your car to look like mine? To do this, hop in free play, learn step 1 fully, then get comfortable with step 2, and then learn step 3. This next part is for the true min-maxers and for those of you who don't use directional air roll, so let's get into it. The first alternate method of speed flip can be executed in 2 very similar ways, and keep this in mind for the second type as well, but remember how I was mentioning how you can diagonally flip forward and to the right using only your analog stick? Well, that's what this type is for. There are 2 different ways to cancel though, so be careful, and they look rather different. I'm going to explain this on controller only because it's easier. The first method is what I tend to do because it's just simpler. If you're flipping forward and to the right, then cancel back and to the right. That's the first way and looks like this. The second way to flip cancel is if you're flipping forward and to the right, then cancel back and to the left. Very similar, but massively different outcome. In fact, this looks rather close to the normal speed flip if you want to go this route, but I couldn't figure it out on the speed flip kickoff test, so I can't guarantee that it is, and furthermore, I still recommend using directional air roll. Now that we've learned the first alternate implementation, let's keep this simple because there's a lot to remember. For this second alternate implementation, let's focus on flipping forward and to the right still. So we can either cancel back right or back left as we just established. And this final type of speed flip is just adding in the directional air roll on top of all of this. I hold it throughout, I assume you should too, just to ease with the recovery out of the speed flip, but it's a lot of inputs for a very similar speed flip, and if anything, it feels like it takes my car wider, so I recommend against this type of speed flip. But I wanted this tutorial to be comprehensive and I didn't want to keep anything from you guys. So if you enjoyed learning about the speed flip, be sure to check back in around a week where I tell you the most important application of the speed flip that no one talks about. When someone taught me this, I was blown away and I've been a different player since. Alright, that's it for this tutorial. I hope it helped. If it did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe as it really helps me out, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. But that's it for this one, so until then, peace.